Has the Christian church suppressed the full truth about Jesus? Why does the Bible include the books that it does, but not other writings such as the Gospel of Thomas, or so-called newer revelations such as the Book of Mormon? These are important questions, so let's talk about it. For many people, Dan Brown's best-selling novel, The Vinci Code, reinforced long-held suspicions about the Christian church. While these conspiracy theories made for an exciting book narrative, they fail to hold up against actual historical facts. Did the church orchestrate a massive cover-up in order to adapt the life and teachings of Jesus to their own agendas? Absolutely not. In fact, the exact opposite is true. You see, the same apostles who sat and learned at the feet of Jesus were actively leading and teaching the first Christian congregations. But as the Christian movement spread, other religious movements, such as Gnosticism, began to hijack and distort the teachings of Jesus to support their own ideologies and agendas. The rise of these heresies eventually led to the establishment of an official biblical canon. So, how did they decide what books were included or omitted? They had three primary tests. The first was apostolic authorship. The gospel or epistle had to have been written by an apostle with first-hand eyewitness testimony of the events, or else under the direct authority of such an apostle. The second was consistency of content. The writing needed to line up with, and not contradict, the other reliable books in regard to both theological doctrine and historical fact. And the third test was edification. Had the specific book proven to be divinely inspired and edifying among the early congregations? The documents that did not pass these tests were not destroyed or censored. Many still circulated and were widely read among early Christian communities. They simply weren't included in the biblical canon. So, let's put the so-called suppressed books to the test. The Gospel of Thomas, despite being named after an apostle, was written far too late, 100 to 200 years after the death of Jesus, to pass the test of apostolic authorship as a reliable first-hand account. It also taught a newer Gnostic theology that was radically divergent and inconsistent with all of the more reliable Christian writings. In a similar way, the Book of Mormon was not published until almost 1800 years after the death of Jesus and proclaimed a new theology altogether. Has the church suppressed genuine truth and new revelations? No. They've simply been diligent to preserve the original teaching and historical facts about Jesus. To expect any religion to accept every dubious new manuscript or claim of a new revelation, and then drastically adapt all of its accepted doctrines to accommodate for them, is simply nonsensical and disingenuous. Ultimately, the Christian church established a closed biblical canon not to suppress or cover up the truth, but to preserve it. Hey guys, I want to thank you guys for watching and hope you will continue to collide with your world for Christ.